Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Alright guys, what is going on? And it's Monday, but we are, for one of the rare times, because I have a life and I'm just crazy busy right now. Also, yes, the graphics have been updated, even though, of course, Bianca Belair is the Raw Women's Champion, because the Raw Women's Champion is on SmackDown, and the SmackDown Women's Champion is on Raw. I decided just to switch it up on the graphics. So I switched it up. That's how it's going to be for now. But of course, despite the fact we're on Team SmackDown, because of course, I'm talking about SmackDown on a Monday night, then again, WWE has all the shows combobulated right now because, well, there's a draft, but there's a Raw Women's title on SmackDown, SmackDown Women's title on Raw, there's SmackDown stars competing for a World Heavyweight title. It's just a mess. Oh gosh, but I had a few minutes. Again, I wasn't able to record this over the weekend because I did have a big family project I was working on that I got to finish tonight, but I want to at least get this out there really quick to get at least this stuff caught up for the week, and then go from there. But this is the Club of the Man 1993. As always, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And this is a brief SmackDown review from this past Friday. Just a couple little talking points I just want to talk about from it. My thoughts on it? I didn't hate it, per se. The wrestling on this show was good. The 2 triple threat matches were good. The main event was okay. It was good, but then it kind of, I don't know, like the last couple minutes of the match to me, like something fell off whenever Lashley's head got busted open. I don't know. It was, something felt a little bit off. Then again, compared to the match they had for the US title on Raw months ago when Triple H was fully in charge, this match was not as good as that, of course. And also, apparently, rumors have it that Triple H was not at SmackDown on Friday. The person who was in charge on Friday running the show, thank God, was not Vince McMahon, but it was Bruce Pritchard. Probably the next worst thing, Bruce Pritchard, Mr. Whatever you want, Buzz. That's all he was whenever Vince was in charge before he retired, or I say at this point just took a break. And so forth there. So Bruce Pritchard was in charge. You can tell it was not Triple H because most of the stars on this show didn't even get entrances. They were just in there. Heck, the opening match, I think it was just Edge only had an entrance. Ray and AJ did not. So, let's just talk about it really quick here. It took place in Knoxville, Tennessee, the hometown for the current Raw Women's Champion on SmackDown, Bianca Belair. We opened up with both of the triple threat matches first. That's another thing, too. I don't know if it's because they're trying to get both triple threats and the main event, because the winners of 2 triple threat matches face each other in the main event. I was consider trying to fit that and other things in, but this show also felt very rushed also. The tempo was kind of off also. But the 2 triple threats were good. The first one was AJ Styles, Edge, and Rey Mysterio. AJ Styles won that. Which, fine, but I think the part that kind of sucked was that even though, again, I keep saying this, it just makes no sense that SmackDown stars are competing for a Raw exclusive title. There was a promo that Edge had posted on social media basically, it was like saying that, the World Heavyweight title was the true title that he never lost. The title that he had to be stripped of when he announced his retirement back in 2011. And basically, he wanted to get back to that. He says, I'm going to win the title. The moment I drop it, I'm done. That kind of left me wanting to see Edge win the title a little. And because the reason why I was not for it at first till I saw that was because him and Seth Rollins have already feuded. But now there's kind of like a different story there, and I'm like, this could be a good reason to see Edge win. Plus, too, why does Edge right now, especially if he's really going to be done in the next year, why does Edge have to be exclusive to one show? Why wasn't he a free agent? So, I mean, he's someone I could have accepted winning it. But when he lost, it was like, then what was the point of that promo in the end? AJ Styles won the first one. The second match, Bobby Lashley won. He won, though, after he knocked Sheamus out of the way, after Sheamus bro-kicked Austin Theory into the bro-kicked Austin Theory. What the heck? Bro-kicked Austin Theory. And then Lashley pushed him out of the way and got the pin. When I saw that, and I realized that the main event was going to be AJ Styles versus Bobby Lashley, I was kind of like, okay, maybe this is a tease that Gallows and Anderson will be out there to help be in AJ Styles' corner. And maybe this could be when we have a Hurt Business tease with Bobby Lashley. But that didn't happen. It was just a regular one-on-one match. And again, like I said, it was fine, but again, something just fell off the last couple minutes. AJ won clean. Bobby's head, though, was busted open. And AJ Styles was celebrated on the stage before the show went off the air with the OC. And Seth Rollins and AJ Styles, yes, sounds like it's an excellent match. They've had a couple matches. It's been a while, of course, since they've had a match. But they've had a lot of excellent matches, over the years. But again, if AJ win the title, does it mean he has to go back to Raw? Does he ditch the OC that I'm still interested in? I'm not on fire for it right now, but I'm still interested in it. Especially with Mia Yim with them now, which I do think seems like she blends in really well. But whatever, they're going to just move AJ to Raw and ditch the OC and make them obscure. Basically, have them be back in the same position they were in back in 2016 when they randomly split AJ and Gallows and Anderson up, and just have them be, nursing home agents diagnosing ring post-itis and having Mia Yim being Reckoning again, whatever the heck her Retribution name was. So again, it's like, okay, cool, it was good wrestling, we love AJ, but he's not on the brand that has the title that it's exclusive to. Again, it just makes no sense. Again, great wrestling, but that made no sense. We did have Grayson Waller. Now, I kind of went out of order there, which I want to kind of do the rest of the show, but Grayson Waller had a segment with Adam Pearce, as he's on the main roster now. He wanted to interview the winner of the main event, which will be AJ Styles, on the show next week, which is his show called The Grayson Waller Effect. Kind of like Miz TV, except Grayson Waller has his own show. So he'll be interviewing AJ Styles, which will be a little interesting because didn't AJ briefly go to NXT and have a feud with him, I think it was? So there's a little bit of history there, so I guess probably see that next week. Speaking of NXT, it was good to see Mr. Cameron Grimes to the moon! And he had his SmackDown debut against free agent Baron Corbin. Bell rung, cave in, 1, 2, 3. Cameron Grimes squashed Baron Corbin. I loved it. That was a nice quick finish there. We had Roman Reigns make his return. This is the first time we've seen Roman Reigns on TV since the Raw after Mania. And when he was walking out as Brock Lesnar, Mr. I want to fight! Me! I want to fight! And Roman and Soul just walked away like, okay, we'll let these guys go. Anyways, he had this segment where basically he praised Solo and trashed on the Usos. And he wants the Usos to apologize, but I guess Jimmy was kind of like laughing about it. And then Roman just like kind of shoved him a little. And then finally Jay just, okay, fine, Us, we apologize. Even though the crowd was swearing and it got censored, and then you couldn't even hear what Jay Uso said until he said, we apologize, Uso. And I'm sure he probably said that before the bleeping out also, but yeah, bleeped out the most important part. Like fans, like casual fans especially, who do not know, the story, are going to be completely lost from that. That was a bad call by production to bleep that out. But basically that happened, but then the Usos said, no, we're going to get one more shot for the tag titles. We're going to make things right, Us. But then Roman's like, yeah, that's right. By the way, wise man. And then Paul Heyman announces that at Night of Champions, it'll be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens defending the tag titles against the Bloodline. But not the Usos. It'll be Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. Now, when I heard this, again, sounds like a great match. It will be a great match. And I get the story. Roman Reigns is just always cleaning up the Usos' mess. They've made a mess. Roman's got to go in there and clean it up. And yes, also, it's again a problem they've been having for a while that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are trying, well, mostly Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens is just trying to just move on from it. But Sami is still obsessed with trying to get the Usos to realize, hey, I'm telling the truth here. Like, you got to turn on your cousin. Which is one of the only reasons why this could still be interesting. Is the idea that the Usos could turn on Roman Reigns and cost him and Solo the match at Night of Champions. Here's the problem, though. First off, what if Roman and Solo win? Then Roman will have 4 belts on him, both world titles and both tag titles. So, yes, it's a good rub for Solo. But then Roman's going to be hoarding more titles. He's probably not going to defend until SummerSlam, probably. Because unless he does defend the belts at Money in the Bank. I don't know. But I don't feel right about having Roman getting any more belts. That's one problem. The other problem. And I completely lost my train of thought. Dang it. The other problem. What was my other problem that I was thinking of? Oh, yes. So, this show, this upcoming pay-per-view, was originally supposed to be called King and Queen of the Ring. It was going to be a pay-per-view around the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring tournament. But they changed it to Night of Champions. Because that's going to be the night that Roman Reigns will officially become champion for 1,000 days. And he's not defending the title. So if he wasn't going to be defending the title and fighting for the tag title, which again, I get the idea behind it. I get it. But there's still a bunch of red flags. Like, why call it Night of Champions if your 1,000-day champion isn't even defending his title? Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, what's the point of changing the Night of Champions? Why not call it just King and Queen of the Ring? Because yes, we're going to be crowning a new World Heavyweight Champion at the show, but if Roman's not defending his title, then what's the point of calling it Night of Champions if not all champions are going to be defending their titles on the show? He'll be on the show, but again, I don't get it. Like, maybe there was a little bit of leverage if this was still King and Queen of the Ring. Okay, again, like I said, I get the idea. I get it. But again, it's like, does anybody really want to see Roman Reigns hold the tag titles right now when he's on a part-time status? And again, does Does it, like, if Roman and Solo win this match, yes, it gives a rub to Solo, but then, again, you've taken away the tag team division also. So again, despite the fact I see this being a good match, there's some red flags. So I'm hoping when they do this match, I'm hoping they have Sami and Kevin retain because the Usos turn on Roman. Honestly, it's got to happen at this point. That like there's no other way. Like, why put the belts on Roman whenever, again, he's just not going to defend them, and then the tag team is going to look even more pointless than it already is. So, again, I like the idea of the match, but I have a lot of concerns for it. So that's another thing that was like, ugh. Of course, because the Usos, got thrown under the bus in front of the crowd, the LWO mocked him. So it's set up for a match with, it's set up for a match between the Usos and the and I think it was Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar next week. The women's tag champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, defeated Bayley and Dakota Kai. And why? Because the typical booking under Vince McMahon is the champions lose clean in non-title matches, but then they win all their title matches. Because that makes all the sense in the world, right? Right? Yeah, you would think that. And then the last thing was, which I'll talk about briefly in my turn alert, was Bianca Belair came out for a championship celebration, and she didn't even get to celebrate because Asuka returned without any face paint. But she missed into Bianca's face when she went to shake her hand. So basically that is the heel turn for Asuka, which I wanted that, but I didn't like that it was just because of the mist. I mean, okay, Bianca, I think, was the only person that's ever dodged Asuka's mist. So I think they can play a story off of that. The problem, though, was that the way this came off with the mist and Bianca just, like, throwing a temper tantrum for, like, 20 minutes. Like, every time you saw on camera that she was just, like, throwing a temper tantrum because the poison from the mist. Yes, selling it, I get it. To me, though, it came off as more of like a comedy thing. Like, when Asuka would turn heel, which I'm going to do a turn alert for her, I wanted it to be more aggressive. Not this comedy shit. That's not what I want. Like, I felt like it was more of like a comedy thing. She just missed her, and she was just like kind of like dancing around and whatnot. I'm like, no, not that. But I don't want to say too much because, yeah, I do the turn alert. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of how they did that. Like I said, she could have done the mist, and then she should have attacked her. Been all serious. Been all like, badass, deadly. Not this whole, like that. I was like, no, I wasn't a fan of that. But yeah, that was SmackDown. Like I said, I didn't completely hate it, but it was just another show again where I'm like, okay, it's like, I get what you're trying, but this still also makes no sense. And a little insulting, too. I gave it a C+, out of being generous. Again, the wrestling was still good, but it's like, again, why are we doing a world title? Why SmackDown stars being involved in a Raw exclusive title? Roman Reigns is fighting for the tag titles at Night of Champions, the show he's going to be champion for 1,000 days, but yet he's not defending his title at a show where all titles must be defended? I mean, at least it's not Roman and Omos, but you get what I mean? It still makes no sense. And, of course, the Raw Women's Champions on SmackDown, but they're not acknowledging the problem here. It's the Raw exclusive title on a SmackDown superstar. So, I don't get it. But, yeah, I gave the show a C+. Again, I'll try to get a turn alert in for Asuka, and then we'll just go from there as always. So guys, what are your thoughts on this episode of SmackDown? I gave it a C+. Leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. And follow me on Twitter at TheClubWithTheMan93. And also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at TheClubWithTheMan1993. And as always, again, just super busy now, but I'm still trying to pound out as much content as I can, even if shows don't make sense. But until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'm going to catch you guys all later. Always remember, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself.